So the Roblox age verification system is a lot more dangerous than you may think, and today I'm going to be giving you guys some information as to why you should be concerned, and why personally I will never be uploading my face or ID to Roblox. Now, I do want to give a quick disclaimer that this is just a video based on my opinion, and for legal reasons I do have to be kind of vague with the stuff that I'm telling you guys, but I do want to clarify here that as somebody who has formal education in this realm with data protection, online security, stuff like that, I feel like I do have some perspectives that would be valuable here, and definitely some stuff that I want to share with you guys because you don't realize just how dangerous this stuff is. And you may think I sound like someone with a tinfoil hat on and I'm like doing all these theories and stuff like that, but genuinely this is based on my education and stuff that I've learned through my education and just case studies that I've looked at, and this is incredibly concerning to me and is why I will not be showing my face to Roblox. Now, for those of you that don't know, Roblox is slowly rolling out a system that has impacted some users actually already, where they are required to upload a picture of their face to Roblox using a third-party application to verify their age using AI. In the system itself, that's not really so much what is the concern here, it's more so the way that your data is stored and the way that your data is handled. Now, basically what happens is your camera opens up on your phone, you basically scan your face by moving your face side to side, and the AI application that is powered by Persona AI, which is like a company, then kind of makes a guess on how old you are. Now, if it believes that you're over the age of 18, it will not prompt you to scan your ID according to what I've read, which you guys can let me know if you found it differently. But it will not prompt you to scan your ID if it thinks you're over 18, and it will allow you to play Roblox, which is an issue because a lot of 14-year-olds nowadays look like 18-year-olds, and some people like myself look a lot younger than we actually are, and I get ID'd constantly. So there is kind of two sides to this. On the other hand, if you're an adult or somebody on Roblox and you scan your face and it thinks you're a child and you aren't, or you want to try and actually give it your right age, you then have to upload a picture of your ID, which includes your mailing address, your height, your weight, the color of your hair, your gender, your birth date, all sorts of very, very sensitive personal information. Now, you may be sitting here, and again, I have to emphasize this is my opinion, and you may be saying, well, Palmy, why does this matter? Well, it matters because the amount of scandals that have gone around recently with the selling of consumer data is astronomical, and we need to talk about it. And I'm going to try and make this as simple to understand as possible, because there's a lot to it. But basically, the way that advertising works is that companies will typically buy information from data brokers. And data brokers are people on the internet that actively collect people's personal information. Now, you've probably been impacted by a data broker if you ever signed up for something like a social media platform, if you ever did one of those surveys to get a couple cents, stuff like that is active data collection. And you'd be astonished how expensive and valuable your data is. Companies pay millions of dollars every year to buy data off of data brokers that collect your information from several social media platforms. One of the biggest scandals was called the Cambridge Analytica scandal, which you guys can search up, where basically Facebook was sued because allegedly they had been collecting unauthorized data through a survey that they were prompting to users, and users had to sign up using their Facebook accounts, and then users' data from their Facebook accounts and all of their friends were then collected and sold to third-party advertisers, and during the elections, that data was used to sway voters' opinions on who they would vote for, and there is some speculation that that had to do with the most recent US election. So there's a lot to this, and what's even scarier is when your data is collected, it's not just collecting how old you are, what your name is, and stuff like that. It is basically pricing how valuable you are as a person, which is really, really, really creepy. Now, when data collection occurs, basically they will collect things like where do you live, what is your age, what is your mailing address, and certain mailing addresses are associated with higher paying areas in the world. So if you're richer, your mailing address will correlate to that. If you maybe live in a developing country, your mailing address will correlate to that. And example, people who are younger, part of a visible minority, people with disabilities, or people who are living in areas that are not as wealthy, they are deemed by these data brokers as being less valuable compared to people who have money, who are in a position of power, and usually typically like white men and stuff like that are viewed as being typically more valuable by data brokers, and so their data is sold for more money. Which is crazy, right? And so basically these data brokers will separate you into groups based on how valuable you are, and that dictates how much advertisers pay to advertise directly to you. And the internet is constantly making a sort of persona or profile about you, and what this data does and what the collection of data through this AI verification system does is it actively puts you at risk. Now, I can't speak exactly to this company because I don't want to get in trouble legally, and I don't want to get sued, but for lack of better terms, if you just search up Persona AI lawsuit, you will come across a variety of content. Now, there has been some allegations, and there's currently active lawsuits against them for class action issues with people saying their data wasn't properly protected. Just reading the Google overview, which is a Google overview, not my personal opinion, this is just something I'm reading online. It says, yes, there are lawsuits involving Persona's age verification technology. Notably, a major class action alleging privacy violations under Illinois' BIPA law, where plaintiffs claim Persona unlawfully collected biometric data like facial scans for age checks without proper consent and disclosure, leading to legal battles over arbitration clauses, and data handling through Persona maintains it follows high security standards. The technology itself is used by platforms like Roblox and X for age-restricted features, with Roblox specifically using Persona for age estimation via selfies. And so, keep in mind, this is just allegations, but what this alleged sort of situation that is currently being fought in a court of law is saying is that allegedly Persona AI has not been properly protecting your facial scans. And you may think, well, I don't give Roblox that much information, my face doesn't matter. No, it does, because that facial scan will analyze how old are you? Are you a girl? Are you a boy? Or are you non-binary? The facial scan doesn't really care. It's going to set you into these certain categories, and it will look and see, okay, are you from an area with money? Are you from an area that doesn't have money? Do you look like you are somebody who is spending a lot of money? Like if you're taking a picture and you look well put together, it might identify that you are a high consuming individual and will then use that data, allegedly, potentially, in theory, potentially, to go and give you specialized ads and targeted ads to get you to buy certain products. And again, you may think that this is not this important and you maybe don't care, and that's fine, but at the end of the day, your data collection starts when you are young, and data collection continues throughout your life. And I wish so badly I had been educated on stuff when I was younger, because I give it away so much data to the internet to the point where I have had my credit cards hacked, and I've had someone use my information to try and open a bunch of credit cards, and I had to go fight that because my credit score was tanked because of it. There's a bunch of stuff regarding that stuff where your identity can be stolen, and that starts with this kind of data collection when it's allegedly not being collected in proper ways. And you may think because you're a kid it doesn't matter, but it does matter, because as you get older, this data follows you and it's attached to you as a person. Your data is stored across various social media platforms, across schooling software, stuff like that. And anytime there's a data leak, or anytime certain platforms don't value your data or keep your data safe, your data is then shared with other data brokerages, and they create a profile of you based on your entire life, which is the scariest thing. Stuff that you do as a kid now with technology is not limited to when you were a kid. It follows you for the rest of your life, and it can put you at risk of getting your credit cards hacked, of getting your personal information stolen. In my case, of somebody actively trying to open a credit card in my name to tank my credit score. Jump scare, which thankfully didn't work. But regardless, there's a lot of safety concerns to that, and what I could understand from that situation was that dated back to me giving out my data when I was doing online surveys to try and get free Robux, which, newsflash, I was scammed and my data was then sold to a data broker. That's great, that's awesome. And so in any situation, if you want to maybe use Roblox age verification, or you really want to chat on Roblox, I would highly recommend that you don't upload your actual face and don't upload your ID. And I cannot tell you to upload anything else because that would be against Roblox's terms of service, but I'm just saying personally, with my education and my opinions, my informed opinions based on the stuff that I've learned, I would never ever upload my ID or my face to Roblox ever. If you want to keep your data safe, and unless Roblox can prove, or this third-party application can prove that they have not had any data breaches and that this lawsuit is frivolous and not truthful, I will not be uploading my content to Roblox, because at the end of the day, talking to strangers online is not worth someone potentially eventually uploading a credit card or trying to apply for a credit card in my name and ruining my credit score, or people trying to pretend to be me online, or my data being used so I'm getting targeted ads so that I end up voting for a different political party, which is really corrupt and creepy. Again, search up the Cambridge Analytica scandal. You will learn a lot about that. But regardless, this video, again, is just my opinion, but I do want to share this information with you guys, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist or sound like I have a tinfoil hat on my head, but because I've done a lot of education in this realm, and this is incredibly concerning to me, and it really freaks me out that Roblox is trying to incentivize people to do this through free Robux exchanges, which I saw this in a Sharkbox video. Credits to Sharkbox, but it was a tweet that reads, Roblox is working on the ability to transfer Robux between two users instantly with no fees. There will be a monthly and daily limit in place. Both users must complete facial age estimation or ID verification before sending or receiving Robux. Because right now, when you try to switch Robux over to somebody, Roblox takes 30%, and then it takes like 2 weeks to get their account, which is really annoying. And Roblox said they did this because, oh guys, there was people selling Robux on third-party platforms. There's people, selling them in Discord servers, so you have to stop that. But the issue is they said they were doing that for safety, and now, oh guys, well, if you give us your biometric data, like your age, your location, your face, your ethnicity, how old you are, then you can send stuff. So it seems like this was never about safety, it was about data. And Roblox, as a multi-billion-dollar platform, does not need more of your data. So anyways, again, a clarification, this is just my opinion. This is all my opinion, my personal opinion, aside from the stuff that I read online, because I know Roblox doesn't like people talking poorly about them, but please, before you will upload your face or ID to Roblox, do some research. look into the Cambridge Analytica scandal, look into how Persona AI, specifically that company, is managing user data and the active litigation towards them, because you guys deserve to have control over your privacy, and you should not be trading your privacy for access to a kid's game. I think that's unethical, and I think it's creepy, and you guys certainly deserve to have your information handled privately so that your personal information can be protected. And again, my data wasn't breached because of Roblox, my credit card wasn't breached because of Roblox, but my credit cards were attempted to be opened by someone who wasn't me, because over the past couple years, or my childhood, I was actively sharing data online, not realizing how dangerous it was. And although Roblox may not be the cause of that, and I certainly don't think so, the more data you give out and the more personal information you give out, the more dangerous of a situation you can be in, and the higher likelihood you are to be a victim of credit card fraud, identity theft, or other things that have to do with your data. So with that in mind, guys, please be super careful, educate yourself before you decide whether or not to upload your face to Roblox, because that's your personal choice. And with that in mind, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!